250 years since those shots in the dark. 13 colonies stood and they lit up a spark. From Lexington Green to the boys on the beaches, we fought for our freedom and we never retreated. We tamed the wild frontier with blood, sweat, and calluses, built cities from nothing with nothing but courage. 250 years of stars and of stripes, of farmers and soldiers and working men's pride. We lifted the world up from darkness and fear. America the beautiful, America the free. We've been knocked down before, but we always got back, with God on our side and the red, white, and blue on our backs. 250 years, let the whole world see, this is still of the brave and the home of the free. We ended the evil that chained human souls, gave the world the light that lit up the globe. We beat back the tyrants, we buried the Nazis, put men on the moon, just because we said, watch me. We invented the future, the car and the plane, fed the hungry nations, and we called them by name. 250 years of stars and of stripes, of factories humming and Saturday nights. We carried the cross and we carried the torch through the fire and the flood. We kept marching on, from Gettysburg fields to the fields of Normandy. Every drop of that blood was the price of being free. 250 years, let the whole world see, this is still the land of the brave and the home of the free. We built the greatest middle class this world's ever known, gave every man a chance to make it on his own. We stood up to tyrants from Berlin to Baghdad, brought down the Iron Curtain, and we made evil mad. Now they're trying to tear us apart from within, but we got a fighter in the White House again. We got a president who loves this country true, fights for the forgotten, fights for me and you. He's bringing back the factories, the borders and the pride, putting God and country back where they belong inside. The greatest nation that the good Lord ever made, still standing tall in the light of freedom's flame. We've had our stumbles, we've had our shame, but no other country ever rose the same. From sea to shining sea, let the anthems ring. This is still America, Let freedom sing.
Check, check, check. Check, check. There we go. Hello, everybody. This is StarShip Adventures. My name's Ian. Excuse the mess. I actually am taking this computer to work each day because we've got a little situation where I've moved in with the host into his room, and the problem we're having is they haven't got all the computers in yet. So the computer I use to put things on screen doesn't have a second monitor. So I have to bring my monitor, or I have to bring this one in so that I can do that. So anyway, that's what that's all about. Let's see if I can fix this camera just a little bit there. That's better. Okay, that'll work, I guess. All right, so the microphone kind of shades me there. There we go. There's no good place for a microphone. It's kind of like carrying a gun. There's no comfortable place to carry a gun. There's no good place in your face to put a microphone. It's kind of those two things go together. All right, good evening, everybody. Hello, Victor. Hello, Moorhead Media. Welcome in tonight. Dispatch, as always, thank you for being here. It just works. There we go. And we are doing our normal thumbs up drive tonight. I think it's helping. The algorithms are showing a bump over the last couple weeks. And I think that's a lot because we've been pushing and asking you guys to give us those thumbs up. It makes a big difference. Believe it or not, it makes a big difference in the algorithms. Of course, nothing's more important than viewer time. And that's why I say, if you're going to bed early, yeah, just hit the mute and leave us on. It's the viewer time that counts more than anything. But the thumbs up is interaction, and that helps as well. Also, the chats help as well. Let's see, who did I miss? Jungle Jordy, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Victor, I think I already said hi to. And Kat, thank you for being here. I have so many cats in my life. I work with a cat. I've got a cat in my chat room, and I own a bunch of cats too. So, well, actually, you don't own a cat. They kind of own you. Yeah. Who else did I miss? I think I got everybody. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Hey, Matt, welcome in. Victor. Well, thank you very, very much, Victor. Boomer. Boomer soon. I don't know how to pronounce it. But Boomer, there you go. You just got your free membership from Victor, literally one of my first regular viewers out there for this show. Was there the first night. So thank you very much for being here, Victor. And let's see. Yep, there we go. Okay, and so you guys are welcome to chat, but you can also, you're welcome to lurk. I don't care either way. All right. I will say, if you just watch the show because it's on your TV and it's distracting to have all the words up there and you can't read them because they're too far away, I get that. I have the same problem here in this room. What you can do, if you want, is watch the show on your TV and then on your phone, pull the show back up on your phone, and then you can use your headphones. If we're doing the left-right ear thing, you can use your headphones to listen to the show, and you can read the chat and participate in the chat with your phone, which is a lot easier, of course, than Roku or something on TV. All right. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Listen, we do beat the dead horse with the thumbs up, but the first thing you two will tell you is, hey, if you want thumbs up, you got to beat the dead horse. So we're doing what we have to do here. Same thing with subscriptions. You guys hear it all the time on YouTube, but you literally have to beat people up for subscriptions. I don't know why. They're free, but whatever. You can click on it and not hit the bell, and it will suggest our show to you. But other than that, there won't be any other intrusion. Let's see here. I do suggest hitting the bell because we do breaking news on here. We go on every night at 9, and we also go on anytime there's breaking news. I am live tonight in the auxiliary control room, or the battle bridge, whichever you want to call it, depending on whether you're a TOS or a TNG person. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's Star Trek, never mind. So anyway, but yes, I am operating in the backup auxiliary control room in the bowels of the ship. One would say this is one of the safest parts of the ship, actually. Anyway, the point is my main studio, the air conditioner, the life support system has gone out. And in Florida, this time of year, it truly is a life support system. So I've got it out there venting right now, trying to keep my fridge from dying. But yeah, it's a bad way. Also, my computer, blue screen of death. I was having all kinds of issues with that, and I'm having pump issues here at the house as well. The water is intermittent. I think our well's going dry. I can't afford an air conditioner, much less a $13,000 well. All right, so anyway, and I'm not asking for money. I don't beg for money. It's one thing I don't do on YouTube. So when I come on with my woes, it's because y'all are my friends, and I'm telling you what's going on in my life right now. Not looking for your money. Okay, so anyway, the point is all the super chats in the world's not going to buy me a well. I don't mean to be an asshole. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably taking a loan or something. I don't know. But hey, this is what it is. It's life, and you just live it as it comes, and you go as you go, and then you meet the Lord. So that's kind of how it works, and I'm good with that. All right, so I believe that the powers that be, the energy, the powers, God, whatever you want to call it, I believe they task us, and they continually task us to make sure that we can handle it. I believe the people that are dealt the hardest lives are the oldest souls. I believe the people that have really hard lives and they overcome it, they're old souls. I believe they've come back so many times and they've mastered it. And so they've been given a really hard life. And sometimes it's the last one and they don't have to come back and they get to live forever with God. But I think it's just interesting, to think about that because, my granny, she was dealt a fairly hard life. She overcame it. She raised 4 kids while working bars at night and going to college during the day. She got her master's degree and became a specific learning disability specialized teacher up in the Tampa area and started that county's first specific learning disabilities program. And she had a rough life. She went through, I think, 4 husbands. But my granny was a very special person, and she was an old soul. And she just, no matter what they dealt her lemons, she made lemonade. You know what I mean? I mean, just and I try to always keep her spirit with me because I know sometimes I think, what would Jesus do? That's a good one. But mine is, what would Granny do? How would Granny deal with this? And it works. But anyway, I spent a lot of time with my granny. We used to go camping and do all kinds of stuff. I was her first grandchild, so I had some pretty special treatment, but that's okay. And we traveled all over the state, and we did all kinds of neat stuff. And I really, really respect that woman. And she's, of course, gone now. She's been gone for, 15 years now. But anyway. All right, so some updates tonight. Daddy Kitty continuing to rally. Today, rolling over, showing belly, wanting pets, wanting love. And I've been letting the little kitten come in. I left him in here while I went to work today. I forgot. It don't matter. He uses the box. But it's funny how cats, you don't even train them to use the litter box. If there's sand, that's where they'll put it usually. But anyway, I left him in here today. He slept all day with Daddy Kitty on the bed. That's what they do. And that Daddy Kitty loves little kittens. And so anyway, that's what that is. He is doing great. Doing great considering I thought he was dead. Okay, I thought I was going to go put him down. I was days away. And now I'm starting to get hope that maybe we'll get some more time together. So that's cool. He's a good cat. He's sitting there looking at me. He's a good kitty. I'll bring him over before the show's over. I'm sure he'll come over. Yeah. Yep, I'll tell you what, grandmothers are special. Grandmothers are great because they get all the good parts of being a parent and none of the bad parts of being a parent. So they can be really cool and spoil the crap out of you and then put you back to your parents so they can deal with you. But no, I love my granny. She was she is a special person. I know her soul is there somewhere waiting for us. Anyway, yeah, let's see, what do we got going on up here? All right, so there's a lot going on tonight. I mean, I'm just going to be straight up. There's a lot going on tonight. We're going to go through it. I'm just going to start going. That unstable New York building. We probably could talk about that just a little bit. They went in there last night. Some very brave individuals, probably braver than you or me, went into this half-collapsing ass building. And they jacked that shit back up, and they put in some more struts and beams and things like that, some more red steel. And they welded, and they were in there all night. And by morning, they declared it safe and let people come back to the neighboring buildings. So there you go. That's good. I'm happy to hear. As much as it would have been fun to watch, that's terrible. I'm glad it didn't fall down. I don't think anybody would have got hurt because they had everybody out. It's important to note that we found out last night, late into last night's show, that they actually were adding floors. They were adding square footage to this thing. Why anybody in God's green world would take a 60-year-old skyscraper that's 38 stories or whatever tall and start adding like shitloads of weight to it. It's all about weight, guys. When you put stuff up in the air, I don't care if it's in a Zeppelin or in a Cessna or in a building or in a boat or whatever. When you put something up in the air, every kilo counts. Every pound counts. It has to be that way. Now, it's very critical when we're talking about planes. It's not critical at all with boats because they float. But it is critical in high-rise buildings. And when we're talking weight, we're talking lots of weight here. Okay? Do you know what it weighs to add just the square footage of one apartment? I mean, I want you to think, we're talking about tens of thousands of pounds multiplied by 50 or 100 or 200. That's an incredible amount of weight on a structure that's already been holding its design weight for 60 years. Now, I'm not saying that building is no longer any good. That's not what I'm saying. That building probably has 30 or 40 more years of life. But is that you? One of my cats is all verbal tonight, and I don't know why. But yeah, I question the intelligence behind adding. You know, first of all, they're taking office space out and they're putting residential space in. Now, let's talk about that for a second, okay? I'm not a construction guy, but I used to teach the construction and collapse courses at the fire department. So I just want to qualify that, okay? I still got my Francis Brannigan book around here somewhere. The point is when you switch from an open floor plan where you've got callers and you've got offices around the outside for the bosses. That's how they got our sales department set up now at work. It's a big, huge room. There's desks, all these really cool desks. And then all around the outside, all the bosses get the windows, right? And then that's how it's set up. That doesn't weigh anything. They have one set of bathrooms on each floor, maybe two, okay? Not a whole lot of plumbing. The plumbing goes straight up and down the building and hits each floor going up and down. The open format means there's not a lot of walls. There's not a lot of structural components in there. It's more of an open format. The World Trade Centers were this way. There's a lot of buildings built this way for commercial applications because you don't want a chopped up little office full of offices. You want a big open floor plan a lot of times for call centers and things like that. And so that's what this building was. It was the headquarters for Pfizer. It was an office building for Pfizer, and they also rented floors to other people that needed an open style floor space. Now, when you convert that open style floor space into residential space has lots of walls. Each room has 4 walls. Each living room has 4 walls. The kitchen has 3 walls. The dining room has 3 walls. When you start looking at it, when you build a house, there's a lot more. Now we add cabinets and vanities. Now we start adding not just a set of bathroom toilets or water closets on each floor, okay? And you've got lavatories on each floor, okay? Now we're adding tubs, we're adding showers, we're adding a lot more toilets or water closets, as my dad used. My dad was a plumber. Hose bibs and water closets. Anyway, when you have all this stuff now going in to make this a residential building, okay, residential space weighs more than open floor, open format commercial space. You guys get where I'm at? Now, if it was a factory, or if it was something where they're going to be building things, or maybe they're dealing with things that are very heavy and stuff, but none of that's the case. It's standard office space. Okay. When you're converting standard office, open floor office space into residential, you are adding shitloads of weight. Before we even started adding additional floors onto the side of this thing, it's a stack. In other words, there's a small box on top and a bigger box and a bigger box. You guys remember the pictures from last night. What they were doing is they're adding floors above the stack. So in other words, this box is smaller. They're going to expand it out to where it's just one big square building going up. So they're reclaiming all that space that used to just be open. Well, duh. That's adding another huge amount of weight to that building. So I don't know. I think that was a mistake to allow them to do this. I think it needs to be fully investigated. I don't know what the outcome for the building will be. I would give it about a 90% chance that they'll be able to shore it up, make a compromise, get it finished, and probably go ahead and let people live in it. But you have several questions remain unanswered. Who's going to want to live in it? It almost collapsed. I mean, you're the real estate agent. You're walking somebody around. Oh, this is a nice view. Here's a view of Central Park or Manhattan, whatever you're seeing out there. Here's a view of this. Here's a view of this. Well, I heard this building almost collapsed. Oh, it was just a little thing. It was just a little thing. It was over in a day. No big deal. No, this building's fine. By the way, yours is one of the ones they just added. It's awesome. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to sell them. That's the next problem. And the final problem, even if the city clears it, the repairs are made properly, everything is done, are they still going to let them expand the floor space? Are they still going to let them increase the weight of the building by converting it to residential property? So there's a lot to talk about there, but we're going to let that go because this will develop over the coming days. All right, tonight we are bombing the hell out of Iran. You guys know the song. Sing along with me. Bomb, 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 Iran. Bomb, bomb, bomb. You guys know the word? Oh, never mind. All right, so anyway, yeah, we're bombing Iran. I'm happy. I'm not happy. Let me tell you where I'm at. Why is that camera skipping like that? What's going on? Why is everything skipping? I don't have anything on that shouldn't be on. Let me see what I can shut off here. I just noticed that I'm skipping all over the place. Damn, I don't know what's wrong with it. All right, I'm going to kill some stuff here. I got something hanging up. I think I'm going to look at the task manager and just see. Let me just see if I can troubleshoot this real quick. I'm sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing because I'm seeing it on the broadcast screen. And I'm seeing it on the return, which I just shut down. It is skipping a little bit, yeah. Yeah, okay, I'm going to see if I can null this out. Let me see what's taking up all the system resources here. God, I hate Windows 11. I just brought up the task manager and it didn't come up. It's not a heat issue. It's not even running hot. Let me see what processes I got running. This is bad. It's like 1 frame a second. Oh, something's garfed up. My memory's at 98% use. Let's see what's using up my damn memory. Brave browser, which I'm not even really doing anything with that right now. Oh, what in the hell? Son of a bitch. Just hang in there, guys. If I'm even still broadcasting, this thing's slowing to a stop. I want everybody to take the time and the opportunity to thank Bill Gates, prick, for building such a wonderfully stable operating system and then pushing out all these unneeded and unwanted updates on us. This whole thing started when that update came down the other day. Damn you. Great. Task Manager is not responding. There we go. All right. Oh, maybe that's the problem. Shit. I knew I forgot something. I didn't plug it in. The reason it's acting like this is because it's in energy saving mode. Because it's just about to die. Plugged everything else in. How did I miss that? This should clear it up. Some laptops, especially the advanced ones, one of the things they do is they go into an energy saving mode where it cuts down on usage and stuff like that. Wow. These browsers take up, man, it's ridiculous how much these browsers take up. Let me see what I can get rid of. This is just bullshit. I don't need any of this shit up. All right, all I need is those things there. Let me get rid of something here. Jeez. Okay. All right, let's see what that does. Oh, yeah, there we go. It's perfectly smooth now. That's all it was. All right, guys, that's it. Yeah, I use T-Mobile, but I had Verizon. Their service is great. Their prices are terrible. Their prices should be against federal law. And they're bad about talking you into buying expensive equipment when you can literally buy everything you need right online for, $150. You can buy a brand new Samsung phone. Well, for $200 you can buy a brand new one. I buy the renewed ones for $150. I bought this phone right here. It's a brand new Samsung S20. Bought this, hooked it up to T-Mobile. I have 3 phones on my service. 3 phones through T-Mobile. It's $90 a month. That's after taxes. And it's because I buy my phones and I do not insure my phones. The insurance is a scam. Never get cell phone insurance. Because you know what they do? They charge you a $150 deductible, right? Guess what? They buy you a renewed phone for $125 and mail it to you. Yeah, that's how they do it. You didn't know that, but that's how they do it. So the insurance is a complete scam. It's not insurance. You're just getting a guaranteed price on your next phone. I hate to say it. And that's why I hate Verizon. I had them for years. Their services, their towers are fine. Their service is fine, but it's a rape and a kiss. And AT&T is very expensive too. So, but I think they've come down some because they were highly criticized for how much they cost. Look, I don't have YouTube Premium, but I'm getting ready to buy it. The ads are driving me nuts. But I got to tell you guys, if you're trying to make a life here on YouTube, I got to keep the commercials on. It's one of those things. I don't make a lot per show. It's probably less than you think. Most of the time, it's like $2 or $3, $5. It's not. Trust me, it's not worth my time. But I love doing it, and I love interacting with you guys. And let's face it, I'm practicing. Go look at my shows 2 years ago, and look at it, and then look at what we're putting out today. Every day there's something better. We got closers, we got openers. I'm going to be doing segments coming up where we're actually going to have graphics that announce different segments and stuff. There's a lot of really cool stuff that's still coming. And for members, I'm going to be doing stuff for members too. It's just with my life in shambles right now, I haven't had a chance to do it. When you have a constant 2-show-a-day broadcast schedule, it sucks. It's because everything in your life revolves around those 2 moments in time every day. But like I said, I love doing the shows. I had a blast tonight doing the drive with Trey Radel. I always do, but tonight we had a fun show. We smashed on local politics. We smashed on our county commissioners about it. We talked about road construction and how they keep rebuilding our roads, but when they put them back, they don't add capacity. What are we doing? They spent tens of millions of dollars on Bayshore Road and on State Road 739, which is Old 41. They spent all this money, and they decreased the capacity of the road. They decreased the capacity of the road. Because used to be you could make a turn anywhere along the road. People could pull out anywhere along the road. Now, everybody has to pull out, go down to the intersection, and make a U-turn. And then they've made a bunch of those no U-turns. So they've taken people that are on their way home. They used to turn right into their neighborhood. Now they have to drive an extra mile down, sit and wait at a traffic light, and then an extra mile back to get home every day. And somehow that's better. I want to play with one of those lighters I keep seeing, but I know it's never as good as it shows you because it's all bullshit. Yeah, I look like a scumbag in that video. I hadn't shaved, and I'm out there, look at me, I'm a scumbag. But yeah, no, I covered that. That project just ended a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It just ended. The last couple guys are out there now just taking all the final measurements and stuff. They've taken all the cones away. It's open now. And it has less capacity, less ability, and less access than it had before. And they spent millions. They spent millions, and now less people can get home on time. They spent millions, and now the traffic still backs up there just like it always has. They should have added capacity, but they don't ever add capacity. They never add capacity. I don't know if you noticed on maybe this is happening in your town too. They're doing things that don't make any sense, like these diverging diamond intersections. They're really cool, man, because like all the traffic has to cross like all the traffic, man. And then on the other side, man, the traffic crosses back. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen, man. What are they smoking down there at the DOT? What are they smoking? They've been trying for a year now to convince us that it's better now than it was before. It's not. Every single person, you, me, the asshole in the sports car, we all have to go sit and wait to cross the east and westbound lanes. And if you guys aren't familiar with this, I'll pull it up. I'll get a picture. Give me a second. Because I want you guys to know these diverging diamonds are bad. You don't want them. They're almost as bad as roundabouts. They're just another traffic nightmare that these dumbasses are using. I don't understand why they think that by building it bigger and crazier and all this other stuff, and then I go sit at that God bless it light every day. I sit at that light because eastbound has to cross westbound, and then westbound has to cross eastbound to get on the other side. Yeah, but dude, it's cool, man, because you're like on the wrong side of the road, man. Maybe Cheech and Chong can figure it out. This is absolutely a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. I don't know who ever thought of this idea. Whoever thought of this should be shot right in the mouth with something pretty high caliber. I don't understand. I don't understand it. I really don't. But let me put it up here so you guys can see it. Just give me a second to get everything set up. You know how it is. All right. Oh, this is ridiculous. God bless it. I hate the way OBS does these screens. It is just counterproductive as shit. Damn it. My eyes are really dry today. I have dry eye, really bad dry eye. And it sucks because the medicine that I was prescribed for it is $800 a month. So I just live with dry eye. It's one of those stupid things. All right, so this is a diverging diamond intersection, okay? The gray road in the middle is your interstate, okay? In this case, it's I-75. So take a look at this. Now, when you come up the road, okay, I wish I had I don't have a telestrator on here, but when you come up the road, and let's say you're in the yellow lane here, and all you're wanting to do is drive through. All you want to do is drive through the intersection, right? Now, in the old days, there was about a 60% chance that you would fly right through the intersection because the primary, which is Colonial Boulevard, has the primary. And the on and off ramps from I-75 are secondary. So, if you pull up to that light, okay, there's a 60% chance that when you pull up there or when you come to there, you'll go right through. About a 40% chance you'll stop. So, in an average week, 3 of the 5 days, you would have drove right through the intersection. 2 of the 5, this is an average, but 2 of the 5 days, you would have had to stop and wait several minutes and then get to go. Now, what this does, look at it. It's sick. What it does, besides confuse the shit out of anybody that's old, including me, but when you're exiting off the interstate, okay, which is the orange is the exiting traffic, okay? When you exit off the interstate, you're able to join your lane. See what I mean? If you join this lane, it's already going in the right direction. You join this lane, it's already going in the right direction. So you look at it and you're like, well, okay, so I understand why they're doing it. They're doing it so that these people can always just keep moving, and these people can always just keep moving, right? And these people can keep moving, and these people can keep moving, because where they come in, the traffic's moving in the right direction for them. Okay, makes sense so far, I guess. Okay, it's a weird way to get there, but okay. So, now you're thinking, okay, so look, the guys going on the interstate can get on the interstate from whatever way they're going without having to stop or do anything else. They can just go right onto the interstate, right? Except these assholes, after they built this, decided they put a light right here where number 2 is. They put a light right here. So now you get off the interstate, you pull down there, you can't go. You still have to wait. So this didn't buy a goddamn thing for the people on the interstate. The people on the interstate still have to wait, excuse my language, had to wait just as long. They have to wait just as long as they did in the past, because when they exit down, there's still a traffic light there that they have to stop at. So what did this get them? It didn't get them a damn thing, because it doesn't merge. They have a traffic light still. It's senseless bullshit. And then the people going on the interstate, they can go straight on. That's fine. But the people exiting the interstate exit into a traffic light. Okay? Now, if say you just want to go through. You're just going through the intersection. Okay? That's all you're doing. You're going through the intersection. You're the yellow traffic here. Okay? Look what you have to do. You have to cross all of the eastbound traffic twice. Before, you didn't have to really stop for much at all. There was just the people going on the interstate, which didn't take that long. And you could drive through most of the time, right? Now, everybody stops. No one gets through this trap. They've got it set up to where you will stop at the one light, and then you will stop at the other light. I have made it through one light, but not the other. I've never drove straight through this thing. Ever, ever. You won't. So why did they build it? They say it moves more traffic and it moves it better. Bullshit. I pull into that. It's a God bless it mess, backed up for miles in every direction. And then they got this shopping center. They've made it nearly impossible to get in and out of the shopping center there. So they've already shut down 2 restaurants in the shopping center because they're not getting enough business, because nobody's going to drive through that shitstorm to get there. Okay? Because this whole converging diamond intersection also encompasses the Ortez intersection as well. And it's all rolled into the same thing. And now if I'm wanting to make a left, I got to go through the median, over the traffic on the, not over, through the traffic on the other side. So that's another traffic light. And then I have to go down this other road and then make a left. And then I'm now still on the wrong side of the road to turn into that shopping center. It's just, who thought of this? And people look at it and they just shake their head and they're like, this is what you get. No, we're in charge. Our tax money paid for that. We should fix this shit. We should fire these son of a bitches that plan stupid, ignorant shit like this. Every time an elected official puts in a roundabout, they should be caught out behind a place, or they should be disbarred, or they should be fired. I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. Roundabouts are terrible. Are they good engineering? Well, let's talk about roundabouts for a minute, okay? When you get a multi-lane roundabout, like I have to go through 2 of them on the way to work, no one knows what to do. Everybody panics. Everybody stops. Everybody doesn't know what to go. Who goes first? They don't look at it. The signs. They don't understand anything. People changing direction at the last minute. I've already seen 2 minor crashes at these roundabouts. They are not safer. I guess they're safer from a deadly accident point of view, because every now and then at a traffic light, you'll get a deadly accident. But then again, every now and then on these roundabouts, you get somebody that just goes right over the middle and ends up killing themselves. So a roundabout is simply the government's way of dealing with something that they don't want to deal with. They don't want to put a traffic light there. They don't want to engineer it. They don't want to figure it out. So what do? Well, they put in a traffic light. Or I'm sorry, they put in a roundabout. Now they don't have to do anything. They don't have to put up a traffic light. They don't have to time it. They don't have to pay for the electricity on it. And anywhere they can find space now, they're putting in these damn roundabouts. And I'm sick of them. Between the diverging diamond, which you see on your screen there, and these roundabouts, these are stupid ideas. And then you take in renewing a road and taking away the ability to turn most of the turns. 90% of the places you could turn, you can no longer turn. You have to go down to the light. You have to sit in a long line. And now the light takes forever. All the lights are longer now. Why are they longer? Because all the people making a left turn all have to go up to the intersection to make the left turn. And U-turns take longer. And now they don't have them timed right. And people are sitting through 2 and 3 light changes. I'm telling you guys, we got to get this under control, okay? I know it sucks. It's traffic. It sucks. But we got to tell these people, look, we don't want this shit anymore. We just don't. Yeah, I think they started in the UK, the roundabouts. Yeah, they're a UK thing. Yeah. Yeah, the 2-lane roundabouts are terrible because what it is the inside lane is going straight. Or, yeah, the inside lane would be going straight. The outside lane would be straight or right turn. But if you're going to go left, you have to be in the left lane because the right lane has to go straight. And that's where the problem comes in. People get in that right lane and they want to go all the way around the roundabout while people in the left lane are going straight on the other side. And that's how the accidents happen. Yeah, roundabouts are Euro trash. Diverging diamonds, roundabouts, refurbishing highways for no reason, taking away turn lanes. This is what they do now. But you know they're not adding any lane miles here at all. We got people moving here at record pace. We've never had this many people per hour moving into Southwest Florida. It's almost scary. They are building 10 multifamily developments, each one holding anywhere from 200 to 400 or 500 people, and they're going in all over North Fort Myers, which is just a little community. It's north of the river from Fort Myers and South Fort Myers and Lehigh and Cape Coral. Those are all big places. We're just a little place here in North Fort Myers, a little bedroom community. We have 10 of these going in. I think that's more than we actually had in North Fort Myers before they started a year and a half ago. By the way, the first 3 or 4 of those are already written. So I think we had about 10 of those in North Fort Myers that have been there for years. You know, Country View, been there for years. There's like, I could probably come up with 6 or 8 of them that have been here for a long time. You know, little 3-4 story rentals, you know. We've built more in the last year and a half than we had built in 50 years in North Fort Myers. I've never seen growth like this. And the roads, we talked about this on Trey's show today. We opened with it because everybody was late to work today because the traffic was backed up everywhere. And what ended up happening is why it's like that. Normally this time of year, we don't have a whole bunch of traffic. See, traffic goes down by like 20% when we're off season. And we are off season. Nobody wants to be in this hot box down here right now. We are off season. But guess what? That season really doesn't matter as much anymore because every day another 10 or 20 or 40 people move into this county, or 100 people move into this county. And nobody's moving out really. Not a lot of people moving out. The ratio is about 10 to 1. Our growth here is, I don't know. Our growth could easily be exponential in 10 years. That's crazy. And so the roads are like this because people are moving here so fast. And so what does our county do? Instead of increasing capacity, that is the key. I said this about 10 times tonight on Trey's show. Increasing capacity. That is by far the most important thing we can do right now is increase capacity. And they spent 20, 30, 40 million dollars and they reduced capacity. They put in this diverging diamond and they reduced capacity. Now everybody has to stop. They put in these roundabouts at places where the side streets weren't that busy. If the light was timed and triggered with proper enunciators that are all working properly, the light should never trigger unless a car pulls up to the side. And that's after a 3-minute cycle. So as soon as it turns red, it counts 3 minutes, and then as soon as a car pulls up, it will turn anytime after that initial 3 minutes. Now, that's how you set the light up. If you set that light up at an intersection, it really doesn't have a lot of traffic. It's not that big a pain in the ass. You slide through about 9 out of 10 times. In the middle of the night, you would go through almost 100% of the time because there's no traffic coming out of that side street. But they had to put this roundabout in. Why are you smelling the camera, Ted? What are you doing, buddy? You can't do that. You can't walk over here. No, I'm sorry. You can come over here and jump up. Say hi to everybody. Both the boys are right behind the camera right there. Yeah, roundabouts, they started in Europe and then started doing them out in California and stuff. And then finally, yeah, Big Ben, Parliament. Yeah, that's National Lampoon's European Vacation. One of the weaker vacation movies, but still good. I think Vegas was probably the weakest one, but even it's still worth watching. Do you know why Uncle Eddie is so crazy? Do you know how he plays him so well? Because that's the way he is, dude. That guy's crazy, but he's still a good actor. Anyway, well, is he a good actor? He's just playing himself. Anyway, I don't know. Was that Quaid? Quaid. Anyway, what are you doing, Ed? Ed. I got cats coming out of the woodwork. What? Where did you come from? What are you doing? You gonna say hi to everybody? They're up here. Hey, up here. You gonna say hi to everybody? This is Ed. Ed Earl. Named after the sheriff in Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. I didn't name him, but I think it's a cool name. Ed Earl. I was gonna call him Earl Grey, but I got vetoed. He's a good man. He's one of my special cats. He's been with me a long time. He's a little more indoor than outdoor. He stays in here most of the time. By choice, he's allowed to go out, but he stays in here most of the time. Yeah, he's got a plate in his head. Yep. Yep, Randy. Oh, come on, cat. God. Stop. Go away. Bye. Damn it. You guys have to jackass everything up, don't you? Oh, Christ. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for peeling out. This is a little difficult. Out there, I usually deal with one cat at a time. However, in here, it's more like dealing with a bunch of cats at one time. Well, it is like dealing with a bunch of cats at one time. I'm not even going to pull the program up to move the camera. I'm just going to move the camera. Screw it. All right, there we go. National Lampoon's Vacations are amazing. I love the first one. I will tell you that I think the Christmas one is the best. It's one of those rare examples where the sequel was better than the first one by just a smidge. And then they go downhill from there. But they're all still good and worth watching. The Christmas one is probably the funniest of all of them. But the original one, let me give you guys something to watch. I like to give you guys something. A guy I used to watch, a YouTuber that I actually learned from, that I watched him create his channel and do good for years, Adam the Woo. He passed away just recently, but they're keeping his channel up. And I want you guys to go, I could probably even find it real quick, but I want you guys to find it. He did if you guys are into National Lampoons, oh shit. There it is. I miss Adam. Okay, so I'm going to put the link right in. I don't care. This is Adam the Woo. God bless his soul. He's gone now. Died of some sudden heart attack or something. He's my age too. But anyway, he went to all the shooting locations. The parking lot at the end, the hotel, everywhere they stopped, like where those campsites were. He went to every location. He even went to where he ran off the road in the car. And he shows you all the shooting. He starts out at the house that they lived in, was an actual house over in Chicagoland or wherever it was. It shows the whole thing from start to finish. He follows it. He takes the same road trip and he plays the music and it's a lot of fun. I watched it, I think, twice. It's 35 minutes long. It's one of his better productions, and give it a like. He's got 1.1 million views on this video. So anyway, I'm glad to see his videos are still up. All right, there you go. So go enjoy that. All right, go enjoy that later when I sign off here in an hour. Go enjoy that Adam the Woo video for 35 minutes before you go to bed. If you love that movie like I do. I love National Lampoons, all of them. Even the Vegas one, which a lot of people thought was terrible, I thought it was just weak. I thought it was still a good movie. I just thought it was a little weak. Anyway, yeah, you're going to have so much. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, my God. I watched a thing about them shooting that scene with the cop on the side of the road and all that. And apparently those guys were laughing so bad they couldn't hardly shoot the scene because they were both trying to act serious. It was a funny thing. It was a little piece they did. It was funny. The meltdown in the car before he gets the BB gun, yeah. And a great cameo by John Candy. Another one we've lost. Yeah. So anyway, that's it. That's it. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And like he said, I said he starts at the house where they planned the trip because they showed the car pulling in there. He even takes you to the car lot where he bought what was it, the Road King or the Roadmaster? I forget what it was, that car. There's replicas. People have made replicas of that car, and there's still several of the shooting production cars out there. I think he talks about that too. Dog killer. Dog killer. These sandwiches are wet. This shit never gets old, dude. It never gets old. Oh, my God. If you guys love this movie like I do, please go watch that Adam thing. It's really good. I love watching shooting locations. Okay, I'm not going to beg anymore. Anyway, we don't need to do that tonight. Let's see what else we got. President Trump now reporting that Iran has reached out to him after we've pummeled the shit out of them for 2 days. And we have absolutely pummeled the shit out of them for 2 days. President Donald Trump said Wednesday that Iran has again reached out seeking a deal. No deal. No deal. I'm telling you, please, Mr. Trump, no deal. I never used the term bomb them to hell. Okay, here it comes. Bomb them to hell. They're not going to stop, okay? This is what they do. We've been fighting this bullshit for 50 years. Why? Because every time there's a ceasefire, and every time they break the ceasefire, and then here comes the good guys with the white hats on, making another deal with the devil, and guess what? The ceasefire never holds, it's never held in 50 years, and it's not going to hold this time. Mr. President, bomb them back to the 6th century. Please. I'm done with this. I'm done with it. He's given them chance after chance. He's a good man. He doesn't want to hurt them. He doesn't want to kill civilians. He doesn't want to do it. But at some point, you have to make the hard choice, and I think he's there. We have to save the midterms, and we have to end this war, and we have to not lose anybody by putting them on the ground. So that's how it needs to end, and that's where I'm at. Yeah, they planned the trip on an Atari, and the other kid was like Pac-Manning the trip. It's technically would have been impossible for that to happen, but yeah, okay, it was fun. There was no mapping software on the Atari, to my knowledge. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Mapping software did not come out until 20 years later, 15 years later. It's not new, and it's not going to change. It just needs to end. He says, Trump says they want to make a deal so badly. Trump told reporters on Air Force One, they called a little while ago. I just don't know if they're worthy of making a deal, he added. I don't know that they're going to honor the deal. I know they're not going to honor the deal. I know 100% right now for sure, because guess what? 50 years of history doesn't lie. Straight up. 50 years of history doesn't lie. Oh, there you go. Clearfield, Utah. Home of Atari and Chuck E. Cheese. We've got a Chuck E. Cheese right next to one of my favorite restaurants down here. We've got like a Chinese buffet, except it's also got like 2 full steam tables of like American food too. And their Chinese food is to die for. Their Hawaiian chicken is the best ever. And so we eat there like once a week. But yeah, Chuck E. Cheese is next door. I've been in there a few times with families on birthdays with kids and stuff. I don't even think the Apple II would have been able to display any kind of mapping. I don't remember anything like that back then. The first mapping we saw was, I mean, not even on the IBM 30s and stuff. I don't remember any of that until we got until Al Gore got us on the internet. I do wait a minute, let me take it back. I do remember having a disc with the picture of a map on the front. And I think you could go in there and plan trips and stuff offline. I vaguely remember something like that. But that still would have been 15 years after, 20 years after the Atari 2600. So, yeah. So anyway, Trump also defended the latest U.S. strikes, saying that they were retaliation for Iran's attacks on commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. And remember, the vessels that were being attacked, these are civilian vessels. These are civilian crews. They're not military. We hit back much harder, Trump said, adding that the U.S. would respond 20-1 every time they hit anybody. When asked whether the conflict had returned to full-scale war, Trump replied, I don't know, but argued that the U.S. had already achieved its military objective and said Iran has very little left. They do have very little left, but very little can still cause a lot of damage if it's used properly. I don't know. I don't know where to end this. I think what he really needs to do is bomb him for another week. Make sure he gets everything. Make sure. I mean, let's get all our Moabs out and let's take them over there, and we'll just have to build some more. Because I don't want to bomb their homes. I still don't want to bomb cities. That's not the way we do it in this country. It's not our MO. But we need to bomb every conceivable target that we can and make sure that they have no means of anything going forward. And then I think we just need to pull out and just let it be. I don't remember that. I had a Commodore 64. That was my first computer. I had the 1701 disk drive and the 401 printer. And I had the tape drive before that. Yep. Load file, comma 8, comma 1. God, I miss my Commodore. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a computer geek from way back, folks. I had a Commodore 6 or 8 years before my first IBM. So... those tankers are very easy targets, guys. They're very easy targets. I don't know if you know, they only move at like 20 knots. You're lucky to get 20 knots. That's not very fast. And the thing with these things, I mean, they don't maneuver. Even if they have bow thrusters, which they do now most of the time, but they don't maneuver. I don't know if you noticed, but these big tankers, they're so damn big and cumbersome, they have pilot ships that come out, and the pilot ships move them into position. And that's just because these big ships don't maneuver worth the shit. There you go. That was the load string right there. I love it. If you look at somebody says, I'm a computer guy from way back, I look at them and say, load file, comma 8, comma 1. And if they go Commodore 64, I'm like, you are the man you just said you were. Oh, boy. All right. Yep. I used to write the programs, line 10, print this, line 20, this and I used to write, that was where I started writing machine code. And then I realized I wasn't any good at it. Yes, I learned on the TRS-80 in middle school. We did my 7th and 8th grade years, which we're talking early 80s. We had trash 80s in the school. Radio Shack TRS-80s. Tango Romeo Sierra TRS-80s. And those computers, they had the blue keys and the red keys. And they were, I believe they all had green screens, but I think you could order them with the amber screens. Back then, a lot of people preferred the amber over the green. But yeah, they were completely monochrome. See, that was the thing. They had a built-in monitor, and they were monochrome. However, the Commodore ran on your TV, which meant the resolution wasn't as good, but I think you had 24 colors. It was pretty damn cool. All right. When Trump was asked whether the conflict had returned, he says, I don't know, because, it is what it is. Now, he says they've called him and they want to talk about it, but yet they issued a statement 3 or 4 hours ago condemning us, calling us names, the usual stuff. Apple had a pretty good handle in the schools here, too. I was kind of glad that I learned on the TRS-80s. I'm not an Apple fan. I think that it's absorbent at what they charge. I think it's disgusting. But I do think it's good equipment. I'm not much on the operating system. Yes, Sanguine, I think I did the same thing. I actually made a sales thing that someone could run on. This was kind of the first time I had ever designed a piece of business software. I wrote a program in Commodore 64 that this guy could leave running. He bought a Commodore 64 and he had a 19-inch color TV, and he put it up in his shop, And that would sit there and run his advertisements. It would just show his advertisements in different colors. There was no graphics. It was just words. It was like dots that spelled out words and shit. Okay. I started with Visual Basic. I'll be honest, I'm not good at coding. I've never been good at coding. It just is what it is. All right, so let's get back to this. That's what's going on in Iran. And that's what we got there. Tennessee conductor fired after telling July 4th passengers America is the greatest country. And he also mentioned that critics maybe should leave the country. And because of that statement, he's been fired from his job. Jack Peterson says he stands by his comments, calling his... Oh, Christ, stop it. God, I hate autoplay bullshit. He said he stands by his comments, calling the dismissal unjust and questioning what the country has come to. He is a Tennessee Transit Agency. The Tennessee Transit Agency apologized and fired a part-time railway conductor after video spread online showing him celebrating Independence Day by calling the United States the greatest country on the face of the planet and telling anyone who disagreed that they could leave if they would like. Local ABC affiliate WTVC, I'm sure a very left-leaning affiliate, Channel 9 there, reported Monday that the part-time conductor was fired after a TikTok video posted by Nathan Shearer captured him saying those very words that I just said. In the video, the person can be heard responding, "Shut up." The part-time conductor was identified as Jack Peterson. So watch what you say, man. Don't get it, depending on where you work, don't get too patriotic. You'll get your shit fired. Yeah. Isn't that weird? I mean, I thought that was kind of bizarre, but anyway. I don't know if I know this product. Is anybody aware of the product sold at Costco called Kirkland Signature Helles Lager and Vintage Ale? Apparently, they're very well-selling beer, and apparently they're leaving. They're leaving the shelves. The move will end sales of the highly prized Kirkland Signature Helles Lager and Kirkland Signature Vintage Ale, according to the Craft Business Daily. The beers were co-branded with Oregon-based craft brewery, Deschutes Brewery. CEO Peter Sturbrick announced the decision in early July. Note to distributors, according to the outlet. Production is slated to scale back as soon as the month, and the beer is expected to disappear from most warehouse locations by September or October. They will continue to sell the already brewed inventory. No official reason has been given to why they're ending this entire 2-year partnership for this brand of product. According to the pair, the beer was first launched in December 24 and each sold 12 packs for $13.99. So there you go. Why? I love how they just stop selling shit and they don't even tell you why anymore. It's like, no, you're not going to know. We're not going to tell you. Oh, God. And, yeah, guess what, guys? Platner has stepped down. That's right. The douchebag himself, the Nazi-turned-commie. Platner drops out of the crucial Senate race after bombshell rape allegations torpedoes his campaign. You know, if you want to win in politics, don't rape women. I'm just putting that out there.
I want something to simplify my day.
Less with this autoplay ad bullshit. Platner's withdrawal clears the way for Maine Democrats to name a new challenger. He had to quit by today so that they can still register someone new. Republican Senator Susan Collins is fighting to keep her Republican seat. And this Platner guy was supposed to be the guy that was going to beat her out. He was going to go in there and beat her ass. But then we found out that he had been doing other things to women that he probably shouldn't be doing. And also found out that he has a Nazi tattoo on his chest that he's had covered up. Okay? And his first excuse was he didn't know what it was. Then he recanted that and said, look, it was a tough time in my life after I served overseas in a theater of battle. Okay. But a Nazi tattoo? I mean, seriously? And now you want to be a commie? I mean, he's basically running as a far left socialist. It's literally like a fascist has turned into a socialist. He skipped right over. He's right over most of us in the middle here, where we're at capitalism and democracy anyway, and representative republic. All right, so what a douche. He's stepping down. The embattled Democrat senator nominee in Maine suspended his campaign on Wednesday amid mounting controversies. You think? What a douche. And boy, Bernie Sanders loved this guy. Bernie Sanders, the devout socialist commie, loved this guy. And guess what? Oh, darn. He has to step down now because, got caught doing shit. I don't know. I don't really care. I think here's what I think. All right. I think it's good for Republicans because two different reasons I think it's good for Republicans. Reason number one is, once again, we get to see the Democrats doing really stupid shit. They were all defending this guy. Literally, they were defending this guy and what he had done. And until it got worse and worse and worse. And oh, God. Oh, fucking thing. I hate Windows 11. I'll do anything to get back into my other computer. Damn it. Even the windows don't work like they're supposed to and stuff. It's weird. Terrible operating system. Built by terrible people. All right, so let's go. I think I got this audio turned on. Let me make sure. Nope, I don't think I do. Let me,
This is all false.
all right, I'm going to play this. I think this is going to play. I hate these Fox screens. They don't play right.
It's not real. It has placed an immense amount of weight on me as I think about what needs to happen now. Amy and I are regular people. We were not looking for this experience. We were not looking to get into politics. We had no desire to run for office. I just want you to think about like what you would do as a regular person in a position where a much larger world, large forces, were working against you personally to accuse you of the worst thing that a person could do, and it was not remotely true. I learned about this through press inquiries, with no time to truly respond, no time for investigations before a corporate media system and the political establishment got to act as judge, jury, and executioner. Accusations are supposed to be the beginning of things, not the end. I think it's really important to understand why this is happening in the timeline, why this is happening right now. Much like October, when the first attack started, much like the news that was created the week before the primary, there is a reason that this is happening now. I only have until July 13th until I am officially the nominee. This was the last week to try to get me off of the ballot. And that's why this is occurring. It's not the false allegations, though, that have brought us to where we are. It's the fact that they're being used by the political establishment to put structural pressure on us. We live in a political system that is not built for normal people. It is a system that is built structurally to make sure that movements like ours cannot flourish. That if they begin to succeed, they can be crushed. What we have accomplished here, you made possible. The people of Maine, the volunteers, the voters, the grassroots donors, and I have all the faith in the world that we could win if we could continue to harness that. But the brutal political reality is that they are going to take everything away from us. Those in power who have the ability to do so are using these allegations as an excuse to take away all of the things that we need to run a campaign. We are going to lose our ability to fundraise. We are going to lose our ability to access voter data. We are going to lose all of the things that any campaign needs on the basic level simply to function. Larger organizations, the national level party, the bigger donor networks, they have all committed to spending no money in this race if I'm in it. They would rather see Susan Collins win than have me be the next senator from Maine. What comes next needs to come from the people. Needs to come from the people of Maine. Needs to come from the voters who on June 9th, at a strength of over 150,000, the largest number in the history of Maine primaries, said no to this kind of politics. Voted for a politics that would actually represent them. Voted against the political system, against the donor class, against the entrenched forces. And I'm not asking for how this process is going to work. I'm not trying to dictate to anyone who it should be or how we get there, but I will say this. It needs to be open, transparent, and democratic. It needs to be reflecting the will and the values of the people that built this movement, the people that showed up on June 9th. People in D.C. need to stay in D.C. Decisions should not be made in back rooms by people in places of political power. Party apparatchiks are not the ones to make these decisions. These decisions need to be made in the open by the people of this state, the people who got us here. This is exactly the kind of political system that everyone voted against on June 9th. And for that reason, we need to be assured that it is going to be open and democratic as we move forward. Amy and I struggled about getting into this. Last summer, right around this time of year, we sat down and we looked at each other and we said, if we believe in the kind of politics we think that we do, we have to do this. Over the past couple days, really yesterday and today, we have had to have that exact same conversation. We believe that for the movement to continue, it can't be me. And for that reason, we are suspending campaign operations.
Okay, everybody, cry at once.
This is incredibly difficult because
Oh.
I know that some will think it's an admission of guilt, and it most certainly is not. We're not doing it because of the allegations. We're doing it because of the structures that are being taken away from us by those in power. And I also feel an immense amount of responsibility to everyone who has worked so hard to get us to where we are. from the people.
Can I honestly
It needs
say,
to come from the people.
I think that's enough. I think that's enough of this doucher. You know, the truth is he's a douche. I mean, there's no other way around it. The only question I have tonight is stun or kill. I mean, that's pretty much it. He's just a complete piece of crap. Okay, so anyway, yeah, he's a complete douche, and he's got even. I bet you he's got even more skeletons in the closet, because you know what we find about people that have skeletons in the closet? They have more skeletons in the closet, and behind those skeletons, a lot of times there's more skeletons. Yeah, isn't that weird how that works? Ah, he's done. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Some kind of total douche. All right. So that's that. Let's see what else we got going on tonight. Chili's roasting Burger King online. The Burger King people have come out with some new burger now that is with a large drink and a large fry, and the burger, it's just shy of $20. And Chili's is like, we have a great burger and it's less than that. And I'm like, and Chili's does have a good burger. I'm like, well, geez, you know, I got to think about that. Now you got to add a tip and everything, but still, if I can go into Chili's and get 2 burgers, fries, and drinks for 30 plus 8 for a tip, that's still what it costs for 2 of these large meal deals at Burger King. Think about that. So maybe sit down's going to make a comeback. Who knows? I don't know. Oh, what else we got here? Where'd all these stories go? And there's been these metal balls washing up on the beaches, and they've been trying to figure out what the hell are these metal balls and these different canisters and stuff. And, well, residents have been warned to stay away from these canisters or spheres that may wash up, and report them to authorities. And this is in Queensland, Australia. The mysterious silver spheres. Hey, Mama, come here. Hey, look who's here. It's Mom Katie. Hey, they wanted proof of life. They haven't seen you in a week and a half. The mysterious silver spheres that have been washing up on a beach in Australia recently were identified after concerns spread that the objects could be somehow dangerous. The objects first started appearing on Forest Beach in North Queensland, prompting the Queensland Fire Department to tell Australians that they were working with partner agencies to identify the sphere. That fan is drying out my eyes so bad. Hi, baby girl. The objects started appearing, and they're trying to figure out what they are. So the fire department said a specialist science team had already secured a number of the mysterious spheres through the weekend and put a 50-meter exclusion zone around them. Residents were warned to stay away from any spheres that may wash up. The Australian Space Agency came forward on Sunday, alerting Queensland officials that the silver spheres were harmless space debris. The recovered objects appear to be pressure vessels from a space launch vehicle, Australian Space Agency said in a social media post. The objects' location and characteristics are consistent with debris from a foreign rocket body that recently re-entered the atmosphere from orbit. The agency said that they were working with international authorities to confirm which launch vehicle the debris came from, The Australian Space Agency said the objects were deemed safe, but more debris may wash up on the shore over the coming days. It is done. If it does wash up, the agency said, do not touch, move, or take the objects and assume it to be hazardous until proven otherwise. In other words, they don't want you to keep them. Yet you get that? They'll tell you, oh, they're dangerous, don't touch them. Well, the truth is they're probably completely inert. However, they want them, so they don't want you to take them as a souvenir. Yeah, I've heard about In-N-Out burgers. I've read about them. I've even watched a video on how they started and all that, but I've never actually been in one. We don't have them down here. Oh, boy, let's talk about the Odyssey. Oh, my goodness. Come here, little. Look who I got. Look who I got. This is my little boy. Look at that little thing. Isn't he crazy? You going to grow into those
When
big
your
old
kid
paws?
is hurting and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, shut up. All right, so Christopher Nolan, the movie producer, facing growing backlash over the Odyssey casting and historical inaccuracy of his movie. And apparently he showed it to a few critics and they did not like it. And critics also targeted Elliot Page and Travis Scott's roles, while Tom Holland's modern dialogue draws fresh scrutiny. This is more of this is more woke Hollywood. This is exactly what this Christopher Nolan is in hot water for choices made regarding his upcoming movie. The Academy Award-winning director is receiving backlash for many of the decisions in making of the film, including casting choices, historical inaccuracies throughout the entire film, and the use of modern dialogue by people in the film. Christopher Nolan has canceled all screenings of the Odyssey with movie influencers. He is only allowing approved critics to see it in advance. So in other words, he's so worried about what they're going to say that he's only going to show it to critics that he likes. Have you ever heard anybody doing this? This is weird. So basically, he's going to let in Siskel but not Ebert, if you know what I mean. He's going to literally handpick which critics get to come watch his movie before it's released in theaters. And what he's going to do, the prick, is he's going to, and I like some of his movies, by the way. Inception is an excellent movie. But what he's going to do is he's going to try to get some positive pub and then release this thing and try to make the money back. But now he's generating negative publicity. This is on Fox National, and it's all over everywhere. It's even on CNN, the Communist News Network, and MSLSD. And so it's everywhere. Everybody's reading it. Here it is. This guy's decided that he's going to change. Look, if your character's white, you cast a white person. There's nothing wrong with that. I can't believe black people are pissed because we're casting white people in roles that white people, they're playing a white person. You hire actors and actresses based on what they look like so that they look kind of like the person they're portraying. Okay? So there's nothing bad about hiring if the part is if the man that you're portraying is a black man, then the actor should be a black man. If the person you're portraying is a white man, then it needs to be a white man. The rest of it, just I don't understand what the problem is here. But he apparently some characters are the wrong gender, many of them are the wrong color. In times and parts of the world where there wasn't even black people are all in the movie. There's nothing wrong with casting the people that would have looked normal for the time. Okay, that's not racist. Where did that become racist? Where did it become racist? You know, we're going to do a movie about slaves. Why don't we cast a bunch of white guys to be the slave, and we'll cast a bunch of black guys to be the slave owners? What does it matter, right? Doesn't matter. That's what he's saying. It doesn't matter what color the actor is. It's who they're playing, right? So it's okay if I cast a bunch of white guys to be the slaves? Think about that. We're going to remake, what's that movie, Roots. And we're going to cast white people in all the black roles. Is that okay? See, when you say it the other way around, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that out loud. Yeah, if they're playing Chinese people, you cast South Asian people. They don't necessarily have to be Chinese, but you want them to look mostly like the person they're portraying. I know in the early days there wasn't a lot of South Asian actors. And so certain actors that you see in everything playing the Asian part, whether it be World War II movies or whatever, it was the same 6 or 8 actors, and a lot of times they were Korean, but they were playing a Japanese or whatever. And but at least they were trying to cast someone that looks kind of like. What if we did the battle on Iwo Jima and we cast all the people on the Chinese battleship? We're going to cast a whole black crew on there. Is that okay? Would that be okay? I mean, where do you draw the line on this?
In the world.
What is this doing? It's just
I don't think
plain
anybody
shit.
ever expects to hear that their child has cancer. It's always one of those things that happens to somebody else. But
Where is this even coming from? Jesus. Also, one of the big controversies is so far in this movie is the director's decision to cast. You remember the girl in Inception? The little hot girl that was in Inception? She was like the young Padawan learner. And she was like being taught how the dream world works. Remember, she was the architect. They taught her how to be the architect. You remember that? Well, she decided that she's a guy now. Now, I don't know if she actually had the addictomy. I don't think so. I don't know if she had that surgery or not. But she now says that she's a boy. That little hot girl that was in that movie now says that she's a boy. And now that she's a boy, she gets to play things like, oh, I don't know. She gets to play the actor Elliot Page. She got to play Sinus, a great warrior who fought alongside Odysseus during the Trojan War, as well as rapper Travis Scott as an unknown male character in the epic tale. Because there was a lot of rapper black guys in ancient times. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. Lots of rappers back then. And so, what are we doing? This guy just had to woke the piss out of it. And of course, all the girls are lesbians, all the boys are gay. And it's just your typical woke horse shit that nobody wants to watch anymore. Yeah, Tom Selleck is a good guy. Of all the men in the entire world, that's who my mother would do. She loves Tom Selleck. She loves him in Magnum P.I. She even watches him in that show where he's the chief. He's a great actor. He really is. And the women all say he's hot as hell, so I'll just take their word for that. Looks like a big hairy guy to me, you know. It's all bizarro world. It sure is. Yep, many are saying that he completely bowed to the woke crowd. Others say he is the woke crowd and is trying to make a statement regardless. Go woke, go broke. That's the bottom line. And that's what he needs to do. I hope nobody watches this drivel. Mama, please, we're on the air. I hope nobody watches this drivel. I hope that people boycott it. For the love of God, don't watch it. They love making men weak. You are absolutely correct. And when they can cast a woman as a man in a big tough man's role. Look, first of all, this little woman, whether she's had the addictomy or not, this woman, in the time they were, she wouldn't be able to pick up a sword. I want you to think about this. Those swords were 100 pounds, 50 pounds. They were heavy. Okay? Look at the stuff they did back then, wearing armor, for instance. Do you know how much that piecemeal armor weighs? Whatever it's called. Holy crap. And to cast some 90-pound girl in it, in that role. I liked her in Inception. That's a great movie. You know, there's been very few movies in time, other than Star Trek movies, there's been very few movies in time that I watch, rewind, and watch again. The Matrix. The first one. The second one on, they suck. But the first Matrix, when it was over, I stopped, rewound it. I was sitting there all by myself at my house. I watched it. I rewound it. I watched it again. Inception is one of those. I got it pretty much the first time, but man, I really enjoyed it the second time. And that's a great movie. I will go back and watch that movie from time to time just because it's really cool. It's really deep and interesting. Literally deep and interesting. And there's a South Park episode where they go into one of the boys' heads in doing the Inception thing, and it's pretty messed up, dude. It's funny as hell. Oh, God. Anyway, I love South Park. South Park puts the best spin on everything. Mama's happy right now. She's getting to hang out with me. Her and I haven't spent a lot of time together because she doesn't come in. She can come in here anytime she wants. She doesn't want to because there's always way too many cats in here. But tonight she's tolerating it because she wants to be in here with me. And so right now I've got Daddy. I got the one that you guys want me to call. I've got like 7 different names. Somebody kept telling me to call him Spock. I think that was Heath. So I think I've kind of decided what I'm going to call. I think I'm going to call him Leonard. Like Leonard Nimoy. I think I'm going to call him Leonard Nimoy. I like Kurt Russell. He's great. He was great in Backdraft. And lots of good movies. He was also good in the original Stargate movie. He played the RDA, the Richard Dean Anderson part, in that first movie. Or should I say RDA played his part, I guess, if you want to be correct. Anyway, yeah. Scientists now claim to have built a synthetic cell. And you know, they just finished building, they're making eggs now, that artificial eggs that they can then put something in and it will grow and crack through the egg just like a regular egg. That's pretty cool. What are you doing, little? Come on. And his little brother normally runs from me, but the last 2 or 3 days he's been letting me walk right up to him. And now tonight I thought it was him, and I reached down and I'm petting him and talking to him, and then I realized that's not the cat, that's the other one. So I think he's coming around. I may be, if I can get them hand trained, then I can get them adopted, or I'll keep them, whatever, but at least I don't want them to be feral. James Woods, he's good. First thing I ever saw him in was some prison movie where he smoked pot through the whole thing. Yeah, he's good. He's a good actor. Okay, so let me go back over here and start looking again. We're almost to 11 o'clock. I'm going to probably sign off here in the next 20 minutes or so. If there's anything specific you guys want me to bring up or hit on real quick, let me know. I do want to check space weather. We have several things going on I want to tell you guys about. Number one is there is nothing on the horizon for hurricanes. We're looking really good for hurricanes right now. So that's the good news. And the other news is, ooh, wow, that radar is completely locked up. That's a little unusual. See if I can get it back up again where it'll actually move. Here's where we're at right now. We got a tornado warning. That tornado warning is in no, it's in It's in Iowa. Yeah, it's just inside of Iowa, right over the river there. So it's near Harlan, Iowa, coming into Atlantic. Looks like a little bit of a bow echo. So they've gone ahead and issued a tornado warning on it. All right. We don't need no stinking radar. Let's see here. I'm trying to find something else I had up earlier. Let me see if I can find it real quick. There it is. Okay, and the other thing I wanted to bring up tonight is tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, they're going to be launching a SpaceX spacecraft. And if anybody's interested, at about 5:25 a.m. Eastern, 5:25 a.m., that's tomorrow morning, in just about 6 hours from now. 7 hours from now. This is they're going to be launching a SpaceX spacecraft, and it's during that critical time where the cloud will get lit up by the sun, and we will still be in the dark. And it's going to create that big jellyfish that we're always talking about or seeing. And so anybody on the East Coast, south of about New York, has a chance of seeing this thing if you've got clear skies. But if you're anywhere in Florida, even on the Gulf Coast, you will be able to see this. Yeah, I know most people are sleeping, but some people set alarms for this kind of stuff. This could be, if you're somewhere where you can see it really well, this would be a great photo opportunity. That little kitty's all running around under the sheet on my bed. Well, there you go, Incognita. That's how to do it. All right, so that's tomorrow morning, right before 5:30, the big jellyfish thing on the East Coast. It's going to happen. All right, and the next thing is space weather. I just got to figure out what happened to it. I lost it somewhere. It sucks when you lose your space weather. I lost my space weather. All right. Okay, here we go. We've got a sunspot that has produced a number of X-flares, and it's moving around to be more Earth-directed. So we've got several things. The first thing I want to talk about, last night, observers in Europe and North America reported seeing bright night shining noculescent clouds. These have been the best of the season so far. We're in noculescent cloud season. And what these are, just so you guys understand, is during certain times of year, moisture in the atmosphere gets pushed into the upper atmosphere. And as this moisture gets pushed up in the upper atmosphere, it gets pushed way up, so far up in the atmosphere that it's illuminated by the sun. It's the same phenomenon that is the jellyfish thing that we were just talking about. Anytime you get exhaust or liquid or vapor, anything up in that way far part of the atmosphere, up between 50 and 200,000 feet up, way up there, okay? Maybe even further than that. When you get this stuff up there, the sun will light it up for an hour before the sun even starts to light our sky up here. And what it does is it creates clouds that literally glow. They glow. And yeah, the best thing to do with slide outs is only use them when you have to. If you're going to live in it, put them out and put supports under them, and then just leave them. Don't touch them. They're anything with these campers nowadays. Campers are designed to be really cool and really nice, but none of the parts last long. It's like everything wears out really easy because they're only expecting you to take it camping 3 times a year. So, well, and if it's in good shape, well, there you go. Another peel out. They all peel out. Hi, Mama. Go lay down up there. You can stay in here tonight if you want. Come on, kitty. Sounds like all hell's breaking loose outside. All right, so finally the big story here, the big solar activity on July 7, two sides of the sun exploded almost simultaneously. There's a sunspot going around the other side that exploded as it's going around, and then we got this one that's come around now. It's going to be facing us soon. Plumes of hot plasma flew away from the opposing hemispheres within the same 2-hour period. Coincidence? Maybe not. NASA has seen this happen before, magnetic instabilities that can quickly ripple across the entire sun, destabilizing widely separated regions. In 2010, an entire hemisphere erupted. So this does happen. The event, in combination with recent flares from sunspot 4482, suggests that the sun is in a heightened state of activity this week. This solar flare is going to turn around and become Earth-directed here in the next few days. So there's a pretty good chance we could get some auroras. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. All right, I guess this Houston protest is still going on. It's kind of surprising. It got dark there. So I'm pretty sure this is live because it got dark about the right time. And it's jerky and shitty. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It's funny because I got 3 different screens doing that same jerking motion. I don't know what's going on. You know, this thing might have went back in the battery save mode again. Well, I'm done anyway, guys. Anything else you want to mention? Yeah, Kami Memdami's an idiot. At least the show went on long enough for me to say that again. What a douche, man. Yeah, Mama Kitty's here. I got Mama Kitty. I got little Leonard Spock, whatever we're going to call him. He's right now on top of Daddy Kitty. Got Daddy Kitty in here on the mend. He's been rallying for several days now, doing a little bit better. And then I got Teddy, and I got Littles, and I got Ed. So yeah, I normally don't have this many cats in one room, but hey, what the hell? I love them. Yeah, something's wrong with my video codecs or something, guys, because all the videos have stopped. I don't know if you noticed. So I'm having some issues there. I don't know what's going on. Let me try a reset real quick here. It doesn't matter because I'm getting ready to go off anyway, but I just want to see if I can get this to reset. There we go. Well, that would work if we were staying on, but at least I know what to do now. I just went to a black screen and came back and everything started working. Yeah, Mama was just up here. Come here, Mama. Come here, Mama. Mama. What you doing? Come here. This is Mama Kitty. That's my Mama Kitty right there. She's the black one. She's not really black. She's got a few little white spots, and she's turning red. So she's really not a black cat. She hasn't been a black cat for a while. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to call him yet. I'm taking suggestions. I'll be glad to take suggestions. But I've had several people suggest Spock. And so that's kind of why I was thinking Leonard, but I don't know. I kind of like I like the human names for some reason, and several other people here do too. So it's one of those things where we've kind of been calling them Ed and Ted, and I was actually going to name the next one Bill, just to be a dick, but or Darren. We could have a Darren kitty, maybe a William. And I'll just call him Bill, right? Oh boy. Yeah, shit's going funky here. Okay. All right. Look, the one thing you got to understand about the people on the left is, number one, they're the bad guys. They always support the bad guys. They always want the bad things. They're always for the bad ideas. They're always making the bad decisions. They're always the ones that are dumping out money and then begging that they have no money. It's always the same thing with the left. The left doesn't work. It just doesn't work, and it never has. And the Great Awakening about George Whitfield. I'm not sure if I know about that one. Yeah, I'm honest, guys. I don't go to church. I don't do a lot of church stuff. I worship and believe in my own ways. I don't like singing in front of people. That's probably the biggest reason. I hate to admit it, but that's probably the biggest reason. Yeah. Your cat's name is Underfoot. You should name the next one PETA. P-I-T-A. It's pain in the ass. I had a friend with a dog named PETA. Oh, good. I'm glad. You know, some of that stuff, the wording was weird and like, but if you look through it, there was some really good stuff there. Yeah, I did submit to you a clean letterhead with the top and the bottom, and all you have to do is take that file to Kinko's or a printer, and they could make you color letterhead. It would be beautiful. But if you want anything else, let me know. I certainly don't mind doing it. I like making graphics. If anybody wants me to make them a logo for something or make them graphics, just send me an email, KO4EFS, and then let me know in here you've sent it, and I'll go find it, and because I get a lot of emails, I'll go find it, and I will, I'll make it for you. It may take a day or so, but I'll make it for you, because I love doing graphics. I love doing AI graphics so much that I'm looking for reasons to do it. That's pretty bad, isn't it? That's sick, but okay. Come here, little boy. That's my little boy. That's my little boy. Yeah. This cat was feral 3 weeks ago. But he's young enough that I was able to head it off at the pass. And now I think his little brother's going to be okay, too. You're stepping on the keyboard, buddy. Hey. It says, do you want to end broadcast? Yes or no? I think we'll choose no for right now. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to call him Bill. He might do naughty things with a cigar. That's all right, though. It's not too bad. It's Clinton-esque. I love that. Oh, that's funny. Not C. Oh my God. I did know a guy many years ago that had a dog named Hitler. And he'd stand out in front of his house yelling, Hitler! Hitler! I'm like, oh my God, dude, you got to name that dog something else. Nobody's named anybody Hitler until you came along with this dog. And the dog was nice, too. He didn't want to genocide nobody. Oh, boy, guys. All right, I guess that's going to be it for tonight. I wish you guys could see our video show, but right now they're not streaming it, but I hear they're going to be. So as soon as they do, I'll let you guys know. You can listen to our show, The Drive with Trey Radel. Just type in TuneIn and then type in 92.5 Fox News. It'll come right up. And you can listen to our show live from 5 to 8. the TV portion of it is, I don't think it's being broadcast live right now.